All right, well, a solid day of trading today. Took one trade off of my favorite setup to take, the initial balance trade. Kept it as a base hit. Like higher volatility, I have a little bit of a harder time winning true base hits, and my trading is best when I'm doing base hits and I'm being patient. So kind of just enforcing that today from the stream. So please sit back and enjoy. This is from the live stream on my main channel, Trades by Matt. It happens every day at market open, and I'm trading my 20 50k Apex accounts that are funded, and you can use code TBM for the best discount always, which right now is 80% off. It's like $35 per account. Let's dive into the recap. Yo, good morning. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hopefully yesterday was good for you. Pretty decent action. This is what it looks like. Down into 20k on the close. Just under 20k on the close, I guess, technically. So far, the overnight session's been pushing pretty nicely, up 0.75%. Last time we had a big down candle like yesterday, we pushed up like 1.5% maybe, and then ended up still getting slapped. I don't know what's going to happen today. Areas that I'm looking for though are definitely 320s. It's like 180 points higher, and I don't know if we get up there, but if we get up to 320s, to me, very interesting spot from a daily perspective. News on the session. We had jobless claims at 7:30. Other than that, we got Fed Goolsby at 9 o'clock, and then 4 years and 10 years, or 4 weeks and 10 years at 10:30 at noon. It's basically nothing. Golf yesterday was good. Shot a 95. Had a few 3-putts that should have been like, I'm talking like stopped an inch left of the hole or whatever, so I had to tap it in. Had that 3 times, which was really annoying. I had like 2 holes where I had an amazing drive in and then duffed the approach or whatever, and then you're scrambling from there. So I fixed those up, and I'm under 90 very quickly. I'm very happy about it, and the driver was absolutely firing away yesterday. So yeah, I'm very close. I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. We had those little double dojis at the top here at the 160s at the overnight highs. A nice pullback off of that so far. What I'm watching for is obviously what I said to the upside. If we do catch legs and we decide to run that 320s area, very interesting prior swing low. It could be a very interesting IB trade today, initial balance trade, 1 hour in. Could be very interesting for that. We'll see. All right, here comes VWAP. Fairly interesting spot here at VWAP on a 60 point dump into it. Delta looks heavy, but I would imagine we get a little reaction. 9 points or so, 8 points. No, there's 10 points off VWAP. Not bad for a quick little scalp. It's just too early in the day for me to really want to do that. I like to wait the first 15 minutes, if you didn't know. I like to wait the first 15 minutes, let everything kind of chill out a little bit, figure out a little bit more directional moves, and just be patient. It kind of forces me to be patient to start the day, which I think is a good thing. So, what's your advice for someone who hates their job and wants to be a full-time day trader? Suck it up. Honestly. It's very good to have a job while you're trying to figure out trading. There comes a point where it no longer makes sense to do both. But until then, just suck it up and enjoy the benefits of whatever your job you're having. It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! And we only have 1,400 people in here. Alrighty. July 18th, Thursday. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for fresh prints. I've gotten several DMs that have said I've been too mean this week. And I quote, unnecessarily mean and rude. Been nice this week? I kind of thought so too. But apparently I've been mean. I guess it was all the trade away comments. And then, I don't know. I guess I was mean to someone at some point. Yeah, apologies if you view me as being mean. I just, a lot of the things are self-explanatory. Simple Googles, obviously. If you're not looking to kill some time, you're just here to try and get a free lunch, like, leave. And I guess that's what's mean, is if I say that. I'm so tempted to almost watch the investable video with all of us again. But you have to take it and run with it. If you expect to learn anything about trading, you have to take this, like, a single concept that someone's going to talk about for 5 minutes, where you watch an hour-long stream on it. You're not going to figure all this shit out in that amount of time. Like, you gotta you got to take it and take that little bit of knowledge and then just like sprint with it. And then while you're sprinting with that piece of knowledge, you're bound to read about something else that's going to, like you're going to have a question about that. So what do? You start researching that part and asking questions about that. And then you just go down the different trails, and then you learn about it. And then what do? You practice it and you start implementing it and you figure out if you actually like it or not. That is a massive wick test. I don't think that fills. What, 40 points higher? There's no shot, I don't think. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, trader mentality. I think the biggest thing with trader mentality is honestly just like, you're fighting two battles always, right? You're fighting imposter syndrome and you're fighting your ego 24/7, essentially. At least when you start to like actually make some money. At least that's been my experience. I don't know if y'all are familiar with like imposters or the term imposter syndrome. Let me find a definition. It's basically you don't feel like you deserve to be what you're doing, or like you don't deserve the success that you have because you feel like you're not, like you still feel like you're in your journey or whatever. You can't give yourself a pat on the back, really. And I feel like trading is a consistent balance of ego versus imposter syndrome. You have streaks where you feel like you're untouchable, and then you have to battle the ego, right? And then you have streaks where, and the imposter syndrome on that, right? And then you have streaks where you have a couple losing trades and you feel like you're the worst trader of all time, and you got to like balance like not rewriting everything that you know about trading and sticking in the game, because like sometimes you just want to quit. And it's this balance of like, I know what I'm doing, I'm here for a reason, I'm good at what I do, right? Balancing that with like the ego and the imposter syndrome is all just, that's where the trader mentality gets really tough, in my opinion. Taking trades themselves is whatever. It's at least in my experience, it really is whatever. You take a trade, you win a trade, you lose a trade. You don't take a trade, you're flat, right? But if you enter the market, you will either win or you will lose. It's pretty much out of your control once you're in the market. So that to me is whatever. It's like the long game that really screws me up mentally, or not screws me up, it's challenging mentally. Balancing ego plus feeling like I have put in the work and I deserve everything that I'm getting, versus also just like feels like I got lucky or whatever, you know. The last 2 days have been good examples of that, of unfortunately having 2 losing trades, right? But how I approach those losing trades is how my goal to approach every losing trade, which is, okay, this happened. What is the analytical approach on what I saw? What's the analytical approach on how I could have managed it better or be better? And was there even anything that I could have done better? Or is it just like, I saw the setup, I like the setup, I've seen the setup before, I traded it, I took an L. Or if you could have managed it better in the middle, then it's like, okay, I took the L, how can I manage it better? And then you got to forget about it. Because if you cannot forget about it and you can't move on, you are going to be stuck in that negative mindset, pessimistic mindset of a death spiral, right? With trading. It's like getting the yips, basically. Getting the yips with trading. Next bet I need to hear. I was on a 10-day heater where I felt untouchable. Now I'm on a red day streak where it feels like I have no idea how to even trade. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a very natural process with trading. Anybody who tells you differently is straight up lying, in my opinion. I don't think there's anybody that can say with a straight face that that's not true, where you have streaks of feeling untouchable and then streaks of feeling like, what's going on here? This is still an interesting spot. It's a little sketchy because middle of the range and buyers are pushing up, so I'm not going to take it, but I imagine that we reject off this for a little bit. But it's like right in the middle of the range, and giving it 10 points is not really, it's not tight enough there for me. Lately, I've been struggling with my patience, says Eric. Yeah. I think myself included. I don't think I've been feeling as patient and as comfortable just sitting, waiting. And you heard me say today I'm going to be smart, be patient, and look for base hits. That's the other thing, is like with volatility, it is a mental battle for me to take the 10, even though I know it's what's best for me, right? But the volatility is there. So it's like off of high probability setups like IB, the 20 points it's worth it. It's good, right? It's healthy to do that. But like, I should really only be doing that on very specific setups. When we are wiggling a lot, you have to give it a little bit more wiggle room. So you want a little bit more reward for it. I don't know. Oh, thank God. I just peaked yesterday's Dad joke on accident. It's just like your eyes just kind of go to read whatever's around it. We have a good one tomorrow. Redemption. Untested wick is still pretty interesting, especially if we kind of put in some wicks here. Then we quickly run it into VWAP in the untested wick. I mean, yeah, 83 seems... And then it would be a 20 to 80 rotation as well. It's kind of a lot going on. 20 to 80 rotation, VWAP, untested wick. We can run if we can run the current wicks. I don't know. I don't know if I get in or not. I don't know if I get filled, I guess. I can imagine how you smell. That's just not it. That was a good troll. Yeah. I sent it to my wife. I sent a picture. See, it's just hard for me to want to step in front of this, even with VWAP and the wick. Let's see how we react. Let's see what would have been. So 83.75 is where I had my order. It got up to 88, so 5 points, 100 points. And looking for 73.75 to trade. And okay, I would have gotten filled out. That would have been a full 10-point trade, 5 points of drawdown. So I guess it plays. It's just scary though to take a trade right in the middle of the range like that. Middle of the range. It is VWAP. It is the untested wick, but like buyers were looking pretty decent. That's why I didn't take it. Was Delta. But yeah, the 83.75 trade worked. 84, whatever. It's 15 points now, right? Nice to see it play. I like doing what I just did. I try and do that often on just like, okay, if I like want to get in here, I don't have the balls to get in here, for instance. Let's see how it would have played. And then you like track the whole trade. What was the drawdown? What was the entry? What was the drawdown? How did the drawdown happen? Did it happen first? Did it happen second? Were you in the money and then it went to drawdown? Because you don't really get that from looking at a back test, right? On a back test, it would just say like you filled out, but it wouldn't tell you how you got there. So being able to experience like you being in drawdown first and then slapping into your profit target or whatever, like it's just good to know how those types of trades play out. We're doing conspiracy hour. Who believes in the moon landing? Man, I don't really believe in the moon landing, but that's just me. I do believe that. I believe we shot people up into space. I just don't think that we've landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong would sock you right in the nose. That's valid. Market makers exist to hunt my stops. We all live in a simulation. Y'all are all NPCs. They control the markets, and the moon landing is not real. And my stops are hunted. What's the point of faking moon landing? Man, Cold War. Space race. Cold War. Americanisms. But yeah, it was a big propaganda. I mean, it was like propaganda central in the 60s. Why waste energy on those thoughts? Because it's fun to think about. Makes you feel like you're in control of your life a little bit more if you're a conspiracy theorist. Put some reasoning to the things that don't make sense. Is the Trump shooting real? I personally believe yes. Now, everything else that is involved in there, I don't know I think the big conspiracy is who's behind it, right? But I think he absolutely got shot. But who's behind it? Is the government behind it? Is it really just some lone 20-year-old kid? Who knows? I think the whodunit is the big conspiracy hour. And then the fact that Biden's got COVID right now, right after everything, he gets COVID. Did you see his tweet? I thought it was a parody account yesterday. He tweeted, "I'm sick, period. I'm sick." I thought it was a parody account. So now, and that was like 4 hours after he said that if he had a medical condition, he might consider not running. So now we have Biden who gets COVID a couple hours after saying that, after the failed attempt on Trump. I don't know. This is conspiracy hour, by the way. 100%. 1 million. We're actually in conspiracy hour right now. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, I think there's a few things that can be agreed upon on both sides of the party, and that is that the Secret Service sucked. I think all Republicans, all Democrats, all independents could agree that the Secret Service absolutely just butchered their job. doesn't take that's not really a political statement at all. That's just straight up like you can just watch everything unfold and know. The head of the Secret Service said that there was no snipers on that roof because the roof was too sloped. And then everybody's showing all the pictures of all the Secret Service guys with their guns just standing up all normal, like no slope. I think no matter what, there would be conspiracy theories around an assassination. I mean, that's been history, right? History's always had a theory around something that's happened. I think Asmongold had the best take. They should investigate regardless to prove or disprove everything people are saying. Yeah, the problem... this is an interesting little spot. Right off value area low, 50s, little hammer doji thingy. If we came back down and got the refill here, I would take it. But we might not, and we might just push right back into the range. I don't know. The problem is that people will say that whatever agency is investigating it is corrupt, right? That's the whole kicker. Matt, any hints on what side you vote for? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I typically like the Libertarian Party without getting crazy political. My mind, I'm pretty conservative on money issues, and I'm pretty liberal on people issues. I think people have the right to do whatever the hell they want to do. And I believe that I have the right to do that same thought process with my money. I don't really think that's a crazy take either. Like, if I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do with your body, then let me do whatever I want to do with my money. So, and there will never be a candidate that truly embodies that, unfortunately, right? Why? Because as we all know from news and politics and clips that you see on YouTube and streamers that you see on YouTube, J trading, whatever else, like literally every single industry, polar swings are what gets views and what gets money and what gets votes. That's why you see prop firms beefing with each other all the time. That's why you see trading influencers trying to beef with each other, is because it's polarizing, right? You create this polarizing event, and polarizing events creates strong sides. People love to have people that they agree with, and they love to have people that they hate. That's just like human nature. All right. How aggressive to be? That's the question. Coming into yesterday's close. It's a good spot. Settlement. That's why I was talking about it earlier today. I would really like us to just stop right here. Because like a retrace of this is like, we're getting to the spot where like IB won't even retrace. 40 points, 50 point retrace for IB is like not gonna happen. I really want us to kind of just like stop moving right now, so that this candle can close out. Like, let's just go sideways for the next 3 minutes. So this candle can close out and fill us, or fill me. But I just don't think that happens. Bloodbath today? Yeah, no kidding. I don't think I get filled. I mean, it's what, 60 points? This is an 80-point candle. I mean, I love it. If you were short, that's sick. But like 80 points and a 60-point retrace to IB, that just... I don't think it happens, man. Now I start feeling comfortable talking about IB. I did not feel comfortable about it right around here, but now I'm starting to feel it. I mean, this is almost a 100-point rally in like 5 or 6 minutes. It's kind of wild, honestly. Like, we have great movement. It's just hard to execute off of when we have movement like this. Yeah, 20K test is interesting. I just personally don't like the 20K test, only because of IB right above it. I can't give that. I'm not willing to give it 20 points of wiggle room to the upside for the IB test if we pop 20K. There's the 20K level. Let's see if it slaps off of it or not. I'm short from IB. Dude, I want to pull this down so bad. Just a little bit. But I'm not going to, because I'm going to be a good person. Base hits. I already said it once. I'm going to say it again. All right. Base hits. 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 Take the base hits, Matt. I have a feeling that we run to 20K and it looks clean, right? And it would be a 20-point trade, pretty simple, but I got to take the base hits. I've gotten burned too many times looking for a little bit more. So, and look. I'll be back to break even, and I probably would have gotten stopped out break even. without the 20K fill. So I'm happy I did that. $3,920 off of 20 accounts. And I waited an hour and 25 minutes for just shy of 4K after commit, or 4K, but commission. So 3,920. I'm happy with that.